Hi, it's Jake. Let's go on an adventure. We're gonna first hit up an estate sale, then a used bookstore, and finally we're gonna trade some of our finds with a few different little free libraries around the city. Let's go. All right, I've got $19 in coins to play with. So, let's go check this thing out. All right, I'm trying to make it easy for these people. I don't even know what I'm gonna find, if I'm gonna find anything I like. Here is $10 in quarters in one bag. We've got $7 in quarters in another, and $2 in coins in this third bag. I keep my jewels simple. So let's go with the chain today. Yeah. Alright. Should definitely put on some sunscreen moisturizer as well. Beauty of Joseon, baby. Get yours at Playlab. Old Town Pasadena. My favorite K-beauty spot. Oh. God, this always makes my skin feel so good. So soft. Oh, I need a little bit more. Alright, so it turns out I am gonna have to bike there. It's 0.8 miles away, and I'm not in the mood to walk that far. I don't care what you say. I had a 13-minute mile in high school. Maybe it was more, but that's what I remember. I don't feel like doing that. 4 minutes on a bike, and I'm there. Let's buy some books. It's crazy because there's still a line outside. I didn't even go upstairs. I just went into the garage after I went to the first room with all the books in it. There were more books upstairs, but I couldn't. I was already doing a lot. So I was able to get 20 books and 6 cassettes for $19. Amazing. Really successful trip. Kind of sorted through the things that I kind of wanted but could do without. And that stack I think I'm gonna go and take to Book Alley, because I really don't need books that I don't want or am not gonna read. So I'm gonna see if I can sell them to Book Alley if they want any of them. I'm not sure. I'll show you the stack. And I'm also gonna see if they're hiring. Because Daddy needs a job. Readers 13 to 17. So let's see. Wow, we put 3 books in here. Cool. First is Frizzy by Clarabelle A. Ortega. Art by Rose Osama. Sick. Okay, we're keeping that. Next is Girl Stolen by April Henry. Cool. And finally, Murder, She Wrote by Stephanie Kuhn. So let's go over what we have left to trade. We've got this one I got from the estate sale this morning. This is Magic Treehouse Haunted Castle on Hallows Eve. I don't need it, but I would love to keep it. But I feel like it should go to a kid. And then from the Mixed Up Files of Mrs. Basil Eve Frankweiler. This is from that last gift exchange. Seeing Red by Catherine Erskine, and Maniac McGee by Jerry Spinelli. I kind of want to keep that one, and possibly the Mixed Up Files. So I actually have 7 books that I could trade. Okay, let's do it. This one's struggling, so I'm actually going to give 2 books. Oh, I'm finally back home from my biking adventure around the city. Once I got to the Vroman's Little Free Library, that was looking bare. So the one right before that, I donated a couple books because that one was looking bare as well. And then even though Vroman's Little Free Library probably doesn't need it, I decided to give my children's books to that library. So I think I donated 4 books in total for that one. So she did tell me, because I took a few books that I was possibly going to sell, but he's not free until Monday. So she was like, show me what you got. And she was just giving me tips and advice for the future if I ever want to sell books again, or if I'm going to an estate sale, like what I should look out for. So basically she was like, things that could sell really well are these older paperbacks that also don't have ISBNs. I think I'm going to do research on it, but she said ISBNs, the system of codifying began at the beginning of the 70s, so there are many, many books that don't have an ISBN number. She thought this one was interesting, which I agree. Mommie, Dearest by Christina Crawford. The pages are yellowed. The house. And yeah, this is really interesting. To Kill a Mockingbird. These pages are green, which is cool. And it has an interesting cover. She was also interested in that. She wasn't the buyer. The only buyer of the store is the owner, and he's not available until Monday, so I'm just going to go back on Monday. And then this I'm going to keep, but I think it could be an interesting buy for the bookshop as well, although it's highlighted up, and that's Frankenstein, of course, by Mary Shelley. So those are the 3 books that I might possibly take back on Monday, but I most likely will keep Frankenstein. The other 2 I kind of want to sell. I mean, I'll take this and see if he wants it, but he probably won't, because she was the Blair High School's copy of 1984. So I might just end up keeping it for myself. As for trading goes today, honestly, I did a lot of trading, but then I ended up doing a lot of donation as well, because I don't need books that I'm not going to read, and I want people to enjoy them. And I think it's so cool that the Pasadena Public Library wrapped up a few books and put some in each Little Free Library around the town. I don't know if I was just first to those in that neighborhood, or I'm sure they did it to all the Little Free Libraries in the city, which is really, really cool. So I will show you the ones that I ended up with. The only new copy of anything that I ended up with from the gift wrapping of the Pasadena situation is Frizzy. This is by Clarabelle A. Ortega, art by Rose Bosamra. This is really cute. Look how cute. And it's a comic. I mean, I showed you already, but I'll read you. Marlene loves 3 things: art, her cool tia Ruby, and hanging out with her best friend Camila. But according to her mother, Paula, the only things she needs to focus on are school and growing up. That means straightening her hair every weekend so she can have presentable, good hair. But Marlene hates being in the salon and doesn't understand why her curls are not considered pretty by those around her. With a few hiccups, a dash of embarrassment, and the much-needed help of Camila and Tia Ruby, she slowly starts a journey to learn to appreciate and proudly wear her curly hair. That is so beautiful. So, so beautiful. This is Frizzy. So I'm definitely going to read this, for sure, and then after that, I'm going to hit up a Little Free Library that is known to stock children's books, and I will trade this out for something. Along the children's vein, I got Artemis Fowl by Ewan Colfer. This, we all know what this is about, so I don't need to read the summary, but I love that I got this, because I've never read it, and I don't really feel like watching the movie, to be totally honest. And my final 2 trades that I got are from 10,000 Villages. The first one I traded for was Oscar Wilde's The Picture of Dorian Gray, which I have not read. I've been meaning to read, and this is a really quite beautiful copy. And it even has a sticker at the front from the library of. Wow, that's cool. So this is from someone's personal library. Nice. And as I was saying before, I got Bram Stoker's Dracula, the Barnes & Noble exclusive edition. Girl, only $5.98. What year was this published? It honestly looks, on the inside, pretty untouched. This was published in 1998. Wow. Very, very interesting. They also had a copy that was the same thing of The Last of the Mohicans in that Little Free Library as well. So out of all my Little Free Library books, I only got 4. And I'm happy with that. Because there was a point in the day where my bag was so heavy, I had a ton of books because I didn't think that the Pasadena Little Free Library ones that were wrapped up were going to have more than one in them, and they did. And those were interesting picks, but I think it's better in someone else's hands. Now let me show you the rest of what I got from the estate sale this morning. I don't do estate sales. I've only been to one in this area before, but my partner texted me a picture of the sign this morning, and I said, wow, he really knows me well. Let me go and check it out. And it was down the street. I got 20 books and 6 cassettes for $19. And yes, I did give him my bags of coins. And he loved it. He said he loves coins. So perfect. I'll first show you the cassettes that I got, which are pretty sick. Something I wasn't expecting to find, an audiobook on cassette tape, baby. The Strange Case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde by Robert Louis Stevenson. A cassette classic by Jabberwocky. Okay. So we've got that. And then the rest are music. So we've got Vivaldi. Then, because I love Billy Joel, but mainly his album The Stranger from 1977, I don't know a lot of his other music. I got 2 Billy Joel cassettes with 4 different albums on them. So the first one has 52nd Street, 1978, Glass Houses, 1980, and the second one has Songs in the Attic, 1981, and of course The Stranger, 1977, which is really cool. And it's all handwritten. This is so beautiful. This is totally what my mom's collection would look like if we were doing an estate sale tomorrow, because she did shit like this. And also, like, is this piracy? This is old school piracy, and I'm absolutely here for it. They had so much more, but I was overwhelmed. Number 1. Number 2, I knew I only came in there for books, because if I started looking at the DVDs and the VHSs, oh, they had some good shit in there. But you know what? I'm going to be able to find good shit throughout my life, so we don't need it. And then I also got Chopin's Piano Concertos No. 1 and 2. This is the back. And finally, of cassettes, I got Christmas favorites. This is Barbra Streisand, Tony Bennett, Bing Crosby. Lots of fun songs on here, and here is the back of that one. All right, let's dive into the books. I'll show you what I got in the garage first, and then I'll show you what I got in the very first room. This was in the garage, in the kids' bin, and this is probably one of the best things I ever could have gotten. Spy Kids 2, The Island of Lost Dreams, based on the major motion picture. If you know me, you know I love Spy Kids. The first Spy Kids is one of my favorite movies of all time. 2 and 3, also incredible movies. Now, when we get past Game Over, it's game over for me. This is fucking so good. Like, hold on. What is that? What is that? Oh my god! They ripped out the visuals! Oh no! I'm missing screenshots from the film! Oh. But this was so cheap. It's totally fine, but holy shit, what am I missing? Now I need to know what I'm missing there. I need to go on eBay and get the... Anyways, this is so fun. Next we have The A.B.C. Murders by Agatha Christie. Ooh, the edges are red. This, I've never read an Agatha Christie novel. This is for sure weathered. Weathered. But let me read you the situation. The first letter warned Hercule Poirot where the killer would strike, and over, it said on the 21st. But his name is crazy. But Poirot was too late to save old Mrs. Asher from death. When the second letter came, Poirot moved fast, but again he was too late. This time, the victim was a good-looking waitress named Betty Barnard, and she was found dead on the beach, strangled with her own belt. Each letter was signed A.B.C. Each victim was found with an A.B.C. railroad timetable under her body. There was little else for Poirot to go on. For the first time in his career, the master sleuth was powerless against a maniacal killer who was running circles around the police of an entire nation! Wow. Let's see. When was this published? It looks like the pages are about to fall off. 1963. The A.B.C. murders. How many corpses would there be? Published by Pocket Books, printed in the U.S. The New York Times says the very best thing Agatha Christie has done. That's a little dramatic, but we'll see. This one was fun. You know I need a fun moment. This is Knowledge Through Color. Cats! History, Care, Breeds by Christine Metcalf, fully illustrated in color. Are you ready for this? Ah, the girls are fighting! Oh, okay, she's not friendly. She's not a friendly cat. Okay, work. Listen, period. If you have a question about cats, I have the encyclopedia. Yeah. The Swiss Family Robinson by Johann Weiss. Now, I got this one because it has illustrations. The font is very big. It's clearly written for children. This was one of my go-backs. The guy was so nice. I went through my whole pile and I put a bunch aside that I didn't really need. Which, To Kill a Mockingbird, 1984, like those are classics. I can get that at any time. He was like, you can just have those too. Don't worry about it. I was like, really? Okay. Well, this was in the pile of go-backs. I really only got this, I don't know, because I'm kind of curious. It's a specially adapted version by Eliza Gatewood Warren. Don't know who that is. I don't know. By looking at this, I feel like it's going to be racist all of a sudden, and I'm going to be uncomfortable. But they just redid Tarzan's Treehouse at Disneyland to the Swiss Family Robinson, which, in my opinion, is a very strange choice. When you look at it, sure, I get it, it's cool. But no one really knows, no kids in this generation really knows what that is. They did not grow up with it, there haven't been any new movies about it, so it's just kind of weird. Anyways, this is a great illustrated classic, and I'll be reading that out loud to myself at night. Now we're getting down to some of the best finds that I got today. These were in the front room, except for the next one that I'll talk about was in the garage, but the rest of them were in the front room in the library, and I'm so glad I got there early because they would have been gone pretty quickly. This is Night by Elie Wiesel. I read this in high school. It's absolutely devastating. I didn't realize that it was this small, but I just felt like I needed this, but I think that it should be in everyone's library. Next, we've got 3 science fiction picks. Is Anyone There by Isaac Asimov. This one is falling apart as we speak, so I'm gonna just be careful with this one. I'm imagining that the edges are weathered. This is not a coloring that it was when it first came out. These are speculative essays on time travel, the future, flying saucers, LSD, and life on other worlds, and more. And winner of the Hugo Award, The Man in the High Castle by Philip K. Dick. First of all, that makes me want to read. Oh, there was a bookmark in there. West Hollywood Book Fair, Sunday, September 21st, 2003, 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. I hope it went well. This has been turned into a show on Prime. I've heard this is really good. It's America in 1962. Slavery is legal once again. The first Jews who still survive hide under assumed names. In San Francisco, the I Ching is as common as the Yellow Pages. All because some 20 years earlier, the United States lost a war and is now occupied jointly by Nazi Germany and Japan. This harrowing, Hugo Award-winning novel is the work that established Philip K. Dick as an innovator in science fiction while breaking the barrier between science fiction and the serious novel of ideas. In it, Dick offers a haunting vision of history as a nightmare from which it may just be possible to awake. This is Beyond Lies the Wub by Philip K. Dick. This is the first volume of the collected stories of Philip K. Dick. So it includes stories written, with one exception, in a 9-month period between 1951 and 1952, when Dick was in his early 20s, making his first impact as a writer. He was born in Chicago in 1928 and lived most of his life in California. He went to Berkeley for a year. I don't know why it mentions that when He was only there for a year, but he married 5 times and had 3 children, and he died in March of 1982. Wow, he wrote a lot of things. This book was published in 1987. This has an arrow towards expendable, so that is curious. The first of 5 collections. I don't think I'm getting the others, but this is really, really cool. And my favorite find from this morning is The Collector's Guide to Antique Typewriters. A couple years ago, I got a typewriter from eBay. I had this great conversation with the owner. His mother had passed away, and he ended up sending me the typewriter with a picture of her at 16 years old using the typewriter. So cool. I ended up giving her a makeover. She's now light purple, and I pull her out every now and then to get my typing in. One day I'll have a situation where I can have her out all the time, but for now, she's in her case resting until I need her. This one is interesting because it comes from the Richard E. Dickerson Molecular Biology Institute at UCLA. So did he take it and forget to give it back? Because I kind of love that. Now it's here. This was published by Post Era Books in Arcadia, California, which is not far from Pasadena. It was published in 1981 and edited by Dan R. Post. So there, I'll show you a few pages. There's just like pages and pages of types of typewriters and ads. It's so sick. Like, who has this in their library, you know? It's awesome. And that's everything I got today. More books. I know I don't need more books, but I do. And I'll decide if I want to trade any of these or if I want to give any of them away. I'll decide that at a later date, but for now, I'm going to enjoy sitting with my books that come from someone else's library and they can continue to live on. That's it for today. Mahalo for watching. I hope I've inspired you to read today, and I'll see you next time. Good night.